Hello, baseball fans. Welcome to the 2020 TravelBall Select Elite 25 Postseason Rankings powered by Baseball Youth. That's right, TravelBall Select and Baseball Youth all in one rankings. I'm Anthony Grassi with Athletic Sports Group, and I'm joined today by TBS President Rick Goff. And Rick, we announced TBS joining the Athletic Sports Group family a couple of weeks ago. But let me officially welcome you and everyone out there connected to TBS. We are really excited to merge our annual postseason rankings, and even more importantly, we're thrilled to have TBS as a new part of everything ASG has to offer the youth and travel ball space.
Thanks, Anthony. It's great to be under the same roof, and I'm excited to continue building TBS with the help of athletics and vice versa. We're going to dive into our postseason rankings today, and it's important to mention that the 2021 TBS Nationals will be moving to the Elizabethtown Sports Complex June 15th through the 20th, not too far from where we're standing today in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. For years, the TBS Nationals has featured elite level play in the 8U through 13U age divisions, and I'm looking forward to amping up the event even more next summer with the help of athletics.
Rick mentioned the high level of play annually at the TBS Nationals, which is a perfect segue to review how this year's postseason rankings were determined. Rick, why don't you walk us through how these rankings came to be?
This year's process was much more difficult than previous years, given the challenges presented by COVID-19. Some of the big challenges teams faced this year were state-mandated travel restrictions and/or missing key players throughout the summer. Given those constraints, TBS and Baseball Youth then reviewed performances in high-profile national tournaments, overall records, records against D1 opponents, head-to-head competition, and layered in the important eye test, as well as perspectives and opinions of elite-level coaches around the nation to rank the top 25 clubs in the 10U, 11U, 12U, and 13U age divisions.
Plus, one neat addition for this year's postseason rankings is 25 teams who were on the bubble and almost broke into the top 25.
That's right, and that's exactly where we're going to start. Our 12U postseason rankings are brought to you by Pocket Radar, a wonderful partner of Athletic Sports Group. I want to introduce you guys to another member of our team, Director of Baseball Youth, Jamie Valvano.
Thanks, Rick. Pocket Radar's Smart Coach app system empowers the modern athlete and coach with the ability to create and share a digital record of their progress. Auto-edited video clips with embedded pitching and hitting velocities can easily be shared via email, text message, or social media. Not only great for use on the field, at practices and games, but indoors at training academies as well. An essential training tool for development at home, in the backyard, or in the garage for your player, PocketRadar.com.
All right, here we go. The 25 teams from the 12U age division who ended up on the bubble in alphabetical order were American Force, Ape Nationals, Archer Premier, Austin Horns, Arizona Diamond Dogs, Blaze Welsh, BNBA Renegades, and the Cacheros.
Canes SC Stats, Colorado Recruits, Gulf Coast Monarchs, Line Drive Black, Mojo Baseball Blue, Mojo Baseball Gold, Naperville Renegades American, and Ohio Nationals.
Rippers USA Elite, San Diego Show Black, SC Phenom, Spitfire Elite, Styx Browning, Team Francisco Notorious 9, Tri-State Arsenal, WFBA Hammerheads, and the Yallabusha Giants.
Congratulations to all our bubble squads. We'll be keeping a close eye on you guys as we head into the 2021 season. And without further ado, let's jump right into our TBS Elite 25 postseason rankings powered by Baseball Youth for the 12U age division. Starting at 25, we find the USSSA Elite World Series runner-up Oak Leaf Knights out of Orange Park, Florida. The number 24 team also comes from Florida, Jacksonville to be specific. It's 5-Star Tigers.
After being an honorable mention team last year, 5-Star Tigers cracked into the top 25 this year with a 54-9-1 record, including 18-3 against 12U major teams.
North Carolina takes up the next two spots as Matthew's own SBA Futures comes in at 23, and Canes Foster from Raleigh chimes in at 22. At 21 is Easley Baseball Club from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Our 20th ranked squad is from Stinton, Texas, 12U Baseball Blue. The number 19 spot is held down by the Traction Canes Black from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Taking the 18th spot is Nevada's lone representative in the 12U rankings from Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Rebels.
The Las Vegas Rebels is one of the few teams who were able to amass 50 wins during the 2020 season. For 17, we go back to Florida and recognize I Am Baseball from Miami. Landing at 16 is Havoc Elite from Pembroke Pines, Florida.
15 is from the Motor City State, from Rochester Hills, Michigan. It's the Motor City Hit Dogs. 14 is occupied by the Ruse, Kangaroo Court Ruse American, that is, from Tampa Bay, Florida. 13 is where the lone Oklahoma squad sits. It's B45 Oklahoma from Yukon.
And speaking with Coach Esquivel from Texas Canes Elite, he mentioned B45 as a team that came the closest to ending his streak during the 2020 season, which we will discuss later in the show.
Number 12 belongs to the KC Crusaders from Shawnee, Kansas. Just missing out on the top 10 and coming in at number 11 is where we find Dirtbags Black from High Point, North Carolina. We've made it to our top 10, and before we reveal the 10 best 12U teams in our postseason rankings, we'd like to introduce you to another athletic sports group event, the Youth Baseball Nationals. Congratulations again to the 25 teams on the bubble, as well as our 25 through 11 ranked teams in our 12U postseason rankings. Let's jump in to our top 10. At number 10 from Manassas, Virginia, Stars Baseball. Number 9 is the Rawlings Prospects from Smithfield, North Carolina. And at number 8 is the first of 2 Georgia squads in the top 10. We have East Cobb Astros Orange from Marietta, Georgia. Number 7 calls Greer, South Carolina home. It's SC Dirtbags Prime. We stay in the Southeast to recognize the number 6 team from Ackworth, Georgia. It's Canes Southeast.
Canes Southeast logged over 40 wins on the year that was highlighted with a second-place finish at the TBS Nationals.
From Jacksonville, Florida, and kicking off the top 5 is FCA Blue Claws Hannah. They made it to the quarterfinals of both PG Nationals events and the semifinals of the USSSA Elite World Series.
Anthony, only one team had more wins in 2020 than the Blue Claws, who ended up with 78 wins. We will get to the team who had more shortly.
Moving on and moving out west, the number 4 team is from Stockton, California, your TBS National Champions, Club All-Star. Number 3 is from Houston, Texas, ZT Elite Nava. ZT Elite lost in the semifinals of the PG World Series and to our number 2 team. That team is Easton Top Notch from La Habra, California.
Last year's number 1 Easton Top Notch was looking to repeat as national champions, but a certain team out of Texas had other plans.
We've unveiled our 25 on the bubble squads, plus number 25 through number 2 in our TBS Elite 25 postseason rankings are by Baseball Youth. So all we have left is your number 1 squad. And your top-ranked 12U team calls South Lake, Texas home. That's Texas Canes Elite.
The Texas Canes Elite had a magical year. They ended up the season an unbelievable 101-0. That's right, they did not lose a single game the entire year. Even though COVID-19 kept them from attending the TBS Nationals, they were able to win the USSSA Elite World Series and the PG event in Georgia. We were able to track down Coach Lally Esquivel for his thoughts on this once-in-a-lifetime season.
You know, I always told everybody all year until this day, they're like, how'd you do? I said, I was never concerned about losing to Top Notch or MVP or Nava's team. I said, because those teams they're ready. If we were going to lose, we were going to lose in a pool play game in Oklahoma City at some point, but not those games. You know, that wasn't going to happen. Our kids are too seasoned and been around too many big games over the years to not be prepared for those, because you do get into a lull. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you get into, there's a summer we didn't come home for 6 weeks. I mean, we literally went from Atlanta to Memphis to Florida. I mean, back to back to back to back. And you don't even know what day it is and what game you're playing. And it's a lot, man. And so it's like, once again, I go back. That's how incredible the streak was, because I mean, it's so easy to fall behind and have one. You got to think about it. We all have been there. Have one bad inning where you lose 2 balls and somebody hits one over, and next thing you know, you're down 6-0 in the second, and you just can't catch up. I mean, and it just never really happened. I mean, I've sat down for sleepless nights, wonder pitching, because then you got to take care of kids' arms too. You know, it's a lot of games, and you got to make sure that you're maintaining, and these kids are running after they're pitching and doing the right stuff to get themselves prepared for the next week. My coaching style and philosophy is I tend to kind of have a rotation. I mean, we kind of had a 6-man rotation, for to say. We always pretty much had the same championship game pitcher, the same semifinal game. our 2 pool play games were pretty much these 3 guys are going to throw. We just stuck to that all year, and luckily, it all panned out because as well as I do, we all have a game plan going in. As soon as your ace has a bad inning, then you have to pull them. Now everything's messed up, and so now you're scrambling, and it goes back again. That just didn't happen. It just did not happen all year.
Great job to all 50 teams who are part of our 12U postseason rankings, especially to Texas Canes Elite.
Congratulations to our 12U standout squads. All the teams who appeared in the 12U postseason rankings will receive an automatic invite to next summer's TBS Nationals at Elizabethtown Sports Complex right outside Louisville, Kentucky, June 15th through the 20th. If you think your team has what it takes to play against this elite group at the TBS Nationals, head over to tbsnationals.com and fill out the request for invite form. Good luck continuing to improve during the offseason, and we can't wait to see you back in action in 2021.